hello everyone. As Whitney said, my name is Rhonda Jenkins, and I've been a librarian now for just about 10 years, but I've been a teacher for 22. So we've been, my school district is Indian Prairie School District 204, and we've been using WeVideo for quite some time. And we also did a beta testing for the new classroom. So I am very excited because I've used it, and it's a great feature that they have opening in probably 2022 school year. So I just the best thing to do is just go right to it and show you all the features. One of the things that I really appreciate about WeVideo as a whole, and especially with this new classroom, is that if you have any questions or if you have any feature suggestions, they take them, they accept them, and they will work on trying to implement them if they can. And if you are interested in finding out more about that, you can email Emily@wevideo.com. She's kind of the one that's all encompassing and understands this product completely. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start off with just the regular WeVideo. So I'm just going to share my screen. I want to share my whole window so that I can switch in between. Grab that. Looks like screen 2. Okay. So when you first, obviously, I hope that everyone at least uses some form of WeVideo now, because this makes a whole lot more sense when you do, but if not, it's okay. So this is the way the dashboard looks now. It's a little bit different if you've used it previously. One very important thing that I always like to stress at the beginning is we're always looking to protect our students' privacy. So when you share a video from WeVideo, their whole name goes along with it. So what I always have students do is come up to the little circle that represents their name, go to account settings. Can you see that menu popping up? I hope so. Okay. And then there's a pencil here, and I make them take out their whole last name and just put in their initial, because when you share a video for them, it shows their full name, and then their privacy is no longer protected that way. Okay. So remember to do that. Sorry, bells are ringing. One quick thing to do to protect our dear hearts. So the best thing, like I said, is to jump in, and that's what this little blue box is here for. We're just going to go ahead and jump in to the WeVideo. Actually, let me go through something first. The previous way of setting up a group or a classroom was to go to groups in the classic version of WeVideo, and you'd have to come down to the plus sign here, create a group, choose your members, or have the kids use the code to get into that. And these are all my classes for this year, because we're doing something a little bit different that we're not yet using the new version. So that's the old way to do it. And then you have to go to projects and groups and shared with me and find that project. And then they have to open the project and start the project. So there's a lot of steps, especially if you're dealing with younger students. But with the new one, I'm going to go back, and we just jump right in, and I'm just going to show you how to set up a classroom first. And by the way, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. And we have a couple that Jason and somebody else that can help us answer those questions. Okay. So these are all the cards, the classroom cards that I've had set up in the past. When you need to go to set up a new one, there's a plus sign here, and you just add a class. I'm just going to give it a name. IDEA and WeVideo. And you can put a year. I like to add the year because sometimes those cards don't go away. Like with Google Classroom, you can archive them, but I hope that that's a feature that WeVideo will take on, to archive it so you can go back to some of those things done in the past. So I'm going to put 21, 22. And choose a grade. You don't have to choose a grade. You don't have to choose a subject. So I'm just going to go ahead and create that class. And there it is. Okay. So I want to just take you also through some of the other things and show you some of the things that the students have done in the previously. I'm going to just take you into this class card. It was a 5th grade class with 29 students. I like that it shows it all right there. The other choices that are with this 3 dots are to edit it or delete the card or the class. So go in the class, and these are all the assignments that were created for this group of students. I'm going to take you into Digital Citizens R is the assignment that was given to them. And the instructions are there. Follow along as I help you work through this. You can see how many turned it in, how many started it, or were actually in the class, 30 students, 21 of them published their project. And so all that information is right there for you to see. So when you go into it and you review it, you can see all the students that actually turned it in and the students that are in progress. We're working on it. And there's also another section, if they've never started it, you can see haven't started yet. So you can kind of nudge them along. When you want to, you can actually go in and watch and see what students have done and leave notes. And I'm going to show you that a little bit later as well. So when the students have completed an assignment, we can go through and review the videos. And I love it because they're all right here. So after everybody's submitted and you want to go through that special process of helping each other with constructive criticism, we watch them together and talk about them. So I don't think I put my sound on. So I'm going to go back to my share screen and change my sound. Here we go. So I'm just going to show you one. Can you hear that okay? Supposed to be just a 2-minute with 5 things that they think that a good digital course can do. I love that I do have them, even though the images from WeVideo are millions of them are out there, I still have them give credit for, because, you know, it wasn't their own work. And then you could just page through each one of them and watch each one. And again, just stop between and have the kids give a little bit of constructive criticism, whether they follow the rules, whether it was color was clear. They become very good critiques of other people's work, not so much their own work, right? What you can do from here too, if they've decided that, oh, you know what, I didn't finish that the way I wanted, you can come to these 3 dots and return it to the students. Otherwise, they can't get it back. They can't do anything additional to it unless you return it to them. Okay, so that's the one of really another good feature that I love about WeVideo. All right, so I'm going to go back out. By the way, if you ever want to go back to the classic version from here, you can just click on your icon here and go back to WeVideo. Okay, so I'm going to go into that class that I created, the IDEA here. Just click on it. And it always comes up with this first assignment. It's always there. It's just a sample for you. You can use it if you'd like or not. So let's just create an assignment. So give it a name. I'm just going to say I'm a good digital citizen. You have to add details or else it doesn't come up even as a saved draft. So tell us what a good, okay, digital, okay. And you do have to set a date. You don't have to set a due date, but you can. And so it will notify you and the students that the time has passed and it's overdue. There are 2 ways you can set it up, as a team or as an individual. In the team, you can say how many students you want to be in a group, depending, of course, on the size of your class. But what's interesting about this is you cannot assign the students. When they open this assignment, they get to choose the team themselves. Okay, so you might guide them a little bit because you know who can and cannot work together very well. So that's for a team, and it will only allow them to choose three people to be in their group. And then before they start the assignment together, because it's collaborative, they have to agree and they'll see the teams and they'll accept it. And then they're able to go into that assignment. Or you can choose it as just an individual. It's just their own video that they're going to create. Now, the one thing for you that's really another good feature is you can save this draft if you're doing some lesson planning and just beginning to put your assignments together, or you can go right ahead and publish it. When you publish it, it's seeable by all your students in your class. If you save it as a draft, it's only visible to you. So if you're trying to space it out and set up all your assignments, this is a perfect way to just save it as a draft. So I'm going to go ahead and publish it because I want you to be able to see it in the students as a student would view it. Okay. So if you needed to edit it, the 3 dots, there's the editing of that assignment. Okay, let's see, team. I'm just making sure I'm covering all my bases here for you. Okay, so you can also see the people that are in your group here. You can see them all. And here is where the students will get the code, or you can give the code to the student in order to sign up for your class. So I'm going to copy this because I do have a student lurking in the background. And I'm going to switch to that now. Yes, you can still see that. Okay, so this is when the students see their original version of WeVideo, it will show that where they need to jump in. And so they just jump in and it comes to this because there's no classes that this student has yet. And for him here, okay, so you'll see his full name, but it's okay because he's not here any longer. So click on join the class, put in the code and join. If you've set up your class and you've got 27 students in there and they're all already working on their assignment and you get 3 new students, when they jump in, they also will see this. It's not hidden from them. You don't have to reassign it to them at all. So let's just go ahead and jump in. And you see, this is their workspace. They've got 2 tracks here, an audio track and then 2 video tracks. This is where your media will go, and then of course their preview. Now, this to me is why another reason for the young ones, why I love this so much. In the older version, you know, you have to go through and you can pick your one video and you have to go and you go back and you have to keep searching and go back to pull out the title pages and all of that. You have to keep going back to the menu to add things in to your tracks. But here, I tell the students to add a title page, but I want you to choose a title page that matches because otherwise it's confusing for everybody to keep seeing all these things. So I just encourage them to find one style that you like and choose and use it. So I'm going to go down to 1. I like this one. And notice when I click it, there's a 1. And I click this one, there's a 2. So now when I add it, they sit here. I don't ever have to go back and search for that text box again. So I'm going to go back to the text because I want to add a static one of the credits. So I want to put the credits in. Now it's all there for me. If I'm looking for media, it works the same way. You can upload it from the computer. You can attach your Google Drive. In the stock media, of course, you know, there's millions of things that are here. You can hone in on it by just looking at audio, moods, genres, instruments, sound effects, loops, or look at images, photos, or backgrounds. And it's just fabulous. And then any videos that you might want. If you want to use the students to find a green screen, type it in. And there's all the green screen options that they have. So they can select one. Let's select him. And I'm going to go over to audio. And I'm going, well, of course, there'd be no green screen audio, so I just erase that out. Find some music and make 2 different choices. And notice it's still counting up. I'm going to go here and I like this background. It's just anything. I just love this. I can add as much as I want and it just puts it all right here for me to access, for the students to access very easily. Everything else works the same as the original WeVideo. So if you want to, you know, drag it down to your video line, you want your music, drag it down to your audio line, and put in your green screen. Everything is exactly the same for the students. So if they're used to it, this will be simple, but it's just so much more convenient for students to be able to work like this instead of searching back and forth. Now, so I've got this student, he's starting his job, right, to do his video. So I'm going to close it for now, and we'll come back to it in a little bit here. Save and close because I've got a good start. So I'm going to go back to my teacher view, and I can see that Grant has started his project. Okay. And I can actually take a look at Grant's project. Oh, so excuse me, I'm on students. Good here and review it. And Grant has begun. I'm going to view his progress. So I can see, oh, you know, this is about digital citizenship. Maybe this flying astronaut thing here is not a good idea. So I can actually write a note to Grant, and I can just click on this plus sign here, and wherever this header is where that message will go. And I can say, are you sure this is a good image to use, or whatever you'd like to say. You know, you're doing a great job. Oh, I like your music choices. And you just click on add, and it leaves a dot. You can see the gray dot that's there, and you can continue to go through it and add more if you'd like. And then what the student sees, I'm just going to close this, go back to Grant. He'll see a little message box that, oh, there's a message from my teacher. So when I continue to edit it, I can see what the message says. So, and click away. And if I need to go back as a student, remind, what did she say? Oh, right there, I can just click on that again. So I like that it shows up right away when the students enter, and if I've left comments, and then you just click away and then it's gone. So if Grant is finished with his and he's done all of his work, he simply clicks on turn in. Are you sure you want to turn this in? Yes, I'm sure. And look, congratulations, you completed your first video. And now it's in a position that he can only watch it. He can't do anything to it. But for me, going back as the teacher, I can see that he's turned it in. And when I can review his video, it takes a little bit, you know, WeVideo still has that long it's not number one right away that it's going to be processed, but it's nothing to it. It'll be done in a moment, and then we can watch it as a class. So, any questions so far? See something? No questions, okay. The one other thing that I encourage students to do, and sometimes they think, well, Ms. Jenkins, you know, this isn't really working the way I thought it was gonna work. I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna turn his back in so that we can look at it again, return it to him. Even though it's not processed, you can still return it to them. And go back to his view. To do, and I'm going to continue. So there was something wrong, but they fixed it now. There was something wrong with the credits. They wouldn't move correctly. So I would have the students, you know, give them some feedback. You've got the opportunity to send some feedback, explain what's going on, what's happening, tell us more, some features that they might even like. So I don't know if you want to continue, encourage your students to say something, but the elementary kids were okay with saying simple things. Well, the credits aren't working. Could you fix that, please? And it got fixed, so I appreciate that. And that's there for us as well. If you have some suggestions, again, just go ahead and feel free to suggest some good things that could be done. The one thing that I would love to see, and I'm just telling you this now too, is on the teacher page. If I go back to all of my classes, I would like the ability to manipulate them and move them around. I can't, because I like my kindergarten to be on one line, my first grade, second grade, but I can't do that. It's okay. It's not that big of a deal. Okay. Yeah. So you know what? That is as easy as WeVideo has been, as difficult as some people say it's so hard. This is not hard. I don't know if you agree with me there, but this is very easy, especially for young kids to be able to use. When they just pull in all their pictures, I'm going to start a project really soon for my kindergartners, and they're going to talk about the 5 things that they like. And their parents are going to have to submit 5 pictures of things into their Google Drive, and then we're going to import them in. They'll use them, manipulate them, and make a little cute little video about the 5 things that they like. This will be very easy for them to use. So that is my goal. Our kindergartners are a little squirrely this year, so hopefully I'll be able to get it done.
Hey, Rhonda, there are a couple questions in the chat. And and that I'm not sure on, so I'd like either you or Jason just to take a quick look. The first one, Karen asks if they can screencast during a video or when creating a video.
Not in this version yet.
And are there opportunities for students to create videos apart from a teacher's assignment?
Not in here yet either. That's another feature. This is strictly like a classroom assignment that's here. I'm sorry, you can record your voice and a video in here for the, I'm glad I looked at it again. I forgot about that. You could do the screen or the webcam or the both. So yes, you can do that from here. Okay.
Excellent. And then Karen also asked, I know you had mentioned the group, you know, they can select their groups, but what does collaboration look like?
All students can be inside of it, just like with the classic version now, all students can be in it at the same time. The same thing for here. They can all be an active part of that video that they're creating together.
Okay, great. Thank you. And if you have further questions, we are going to wrap up a little bit at the a little early so that we can also come off mute if you have some specific questions too. Karen also just asked, is editing limited as compared like versus the classic view?
No, it's the same. Yep, the same kind of things are available. Double clicking that, keying out the color so that you can do your green screening. The editing is the same. It's even sound clips. Let's see, I have to add it in here. Oops. I can't seem to do it right now. We figured this out how to do it though. You can actually still taper down the sound as well on your audio clips. Actually, it's not even letting me go do it. Huh. We did figure it out. I can't see it, not just using this to the slider to sound it down, because that takes the whole sound down. Whereas we can add in touch points. Can't seem to do it right now. And then drag it down to lower it and then bring it back up when the talking is stopped, right? So that, I know that was there, but for some reason it's not functioning for me at this moment. Don't know why.
I was muted and I was talking, and so I can't even, I'm not sure I'd be helpful there, but John says, is it possibly the levels, something about the levels turned on?
Oh, there it is. That's what it is. You're right. Thank you, John. It's the audio. There it is right there. Yep. That's what happens when you get a little nervous, right? So here it is. You can start it down, add in another dot, and then start it to climb a little bit. And even at the end of the video to take it down slowly instead of it just dropping off.
Very neat. We have one more question too, if that's okay. Laura asks, do you have a district subscription? And this might be one we want to address at the very end, but I'll throw it out there. Do you have a district subscription? If we only have a certain number of seats and swap students in and out as the projects are completed, would we have to delete the class to add new classroom and students?
That I don't.
And that can be a Jason question too at the end.
Yeah. Either or an Emily question, right? Okay. That I didn't know, but I do have to offer a class pack certificate for, I have 150 seats, 50 seats, and 30 seats. So, and it actually lasts until June 30th, 21. So if somebody's interested in one of those, you can say so, and I'll be happy to send it to you, the certificate, so that you can at least get access to the beta version of WeVideo Classroom.
Fantastic.
We do have a district subscription though. And like I said, we've been apart for quite some time together, so that's good. John said he could answer the question, or is that at the end?
I can if
I
you'd like.
think the question, yep, go
Yeah.
ahead, John, sorry.
Rhonda, you're in Naperville?
I am.
Yeah, as you know, Naperville has a district-wide subscription. I believe there's access for all kids and teachers, all grade levels, and they've had that for at least 5 years, I think. So yeah, we have those. If you have, if you're just dipping your foot into the pool, you can take a smaller cohort. We'll license any number, of course, and then you can, remove people out and then bring new people in. In fact, Naperville will do that every year, of course, with graduating kids to free up those seats, but you could do it during the year with smaller groups. It does give you it's up to you to manage that, so you do have to kind of be mindful of how you're going to do it, but you can do it.
Okay. There's your answer. Yay. Someone asked if you can blur out faces. No, I don't think that that's a possibility, but there is a workaround. You can go get a blurred shape and then put it on top of a face, or you can take let's see, I'm trying to think of what you can do. I've not had that question before, but it's a good one. So these probably aren't the best ideas of a shape, but that looks like a bomb. We don't want to use a bomb, do we? We'll take and let's just use this one. So you just would, of course, layer it above her, double click it, and then just change the scale of it a bit. And position. The other one is easier to move things like that. So I'm not seeing the boxes around it to be able to move it, but you can adjust it obviously a little bit to cover the face. Or you can go get a blurred blob and then put it over their face as well. So, yeah, no. Maybe it's crop it. Oh, it's not letting me crop it either. Okay.
I think we're caught up on questions, so I don't know if you had some more that you wanted to discuss, or if you wanted me to open it up for more questions.
Yeah, open up for more questions, because I mean, this is as simple as it is, and is there a learning curve? Maybe for the students that are used to the regular version may have a little bit, because again, that freedom to just go in and create is not there, because it is strictly classroom assignments that are handed out by the teacher.
And so with the old version, they could still just create videos on their own, but with this version, right, that's the one that's locked down a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, someone asked if you'll be teachers, if you're forced to use it. No, it's a choice. It's an option. Jason, I think it all comes together eventually, but you just choose which one to use, or is it a separate subscription? That's what I didn't know. Oh, I love it. They will be creating, this is just a beta version, but they're going to unlock it so that the students will be able to create freely. They'll like it.
I like this would be a lot more straightforward for the little ones, or the ones when you have a short class period too, and you don't want to spend a lot of time instructing on how to use the tool. So I think this is really nice. Really straightforward, as Jason said.
Yeah, the other version is with the classic version. As you set up your class and you begin a project, you can put media in that project, but they don't have that option here yet either, to add media to the project. But when also, just for the teachers, when you are in an assignment, and if you've got a Google link that you'd like to give, or something in a sheet that explains the project a little more further, you can just paste that link in the description and the students will be able to access it.
Fantastic. If you have questions, feel free to come off mute right now. If you prefer not to type them in the chat, or if you're not able to, So we'll give you a minute or so to do that. And then we have some announcements and things like that to discuss too. And I don't know about those licenses, Rhonda, if you want them to just put their email in the chat or email me, I can pass it along.
Yep, I only have 3, so the first in.
Okay.
I have a 150, a 50, and a 30.
Fantastic. I think that's awesome. So I'll put my email address in the chat. I'll also say it for anyone that's on the phone. It is W Miller, Miller, at IDEA Illinois, spelled out, .org. So it's W Miller at ideaillinois.org. And I'll make sure the first 3 folks that I hear from, I will send over to Rhonda for those seats. So
I'll put my email address in as well. So if you have questions,
perfect.
you can ask. You're more than welcome to email me as well. So
Yep, and Rhonda just put hers in too. So that yours is a little bit easier to say than mine, I think. Probably should have just went with that one.
So any questions? I mean, if you have any questions about this feature, again, I love it.
So I guess this is a nice piece. I have to say this because doing groups in Classic has been painful. But my question is, in terms of picking one versus the other, and obviously this is in very new stages. So, I guess I'm a little concerned in terms of navigating the groups in Classic and now classrooms in this new version. And are we going to get things confused? And
Karen, I don't think so, because we have them both too. For the other ones, I wouldn't use the Classic just because it's more complicated, especially to get into a project and a group. But this one, you just jump in, their cards are right there. They know how to get in. They know which assignment is there. It's very straightforward.
And we can pull in our own media or not? You said you couldn't?
The students can pull in their own media, but we can't yet assign media.
Okay, so we can put it in a folder in here, guys.
Yes, exactly. Right.
Okay. I'm just looking right now. I'm just sitting here looking at the old version going, what questions do I have?
Yeah, I'm working on this one is strictly a video right now, but you could quickly make it a meme. But with the Classic version, the memes are available to use. The meme template, I should say. I'm going to go back to the Classic version here. So that's what we're working on, a meme. I just wanted them to be able to come up with a meme about the library or our last book fair, right? So in groups, and then I have my 2nd grade class, and then here are the projects. Actually, this class didn't do it yet. That's why I go back out here. This one did. Oops.
And within Classroom, in this version, so in Classic you're in right now, we have projects, and then they have the different edits. And you could pull them together as one.
Okay. But in that one, you can't pull them together.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can, as the teacher of the group, you can download it and then share it. Yeah. So that one's a little bit more.
130 kids? I don't think so.
Yeah, right. So that's why. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, you're high school, obviously. Then, are you high school?
Middle school.
You're middle school. Yeah. So you can. It's. Sorry, he's just leaving some notes here. Reading what he's saying. Okay. I would stick to the Classic version for that, because you can link them together, right?
Right.
But again, make the suggestion and perhaps that will be a feature that WeVideo will come up with for you. They're trying to make it for us easy. And I think for young ones, definitely for elementary, they have made that with classrooms and assigning projects. And the fact that you can choose all of your media and it's all right there. It's just so much more simple for young people. Did you want to try it though?
No, yeah, no, we'll definitely try it. I mean, I'm gonna show this to a couple of my colleagues to see. Definitely, this is definitely of interest. And with certain things, it's definitely of interest.
There is, I'm gonna put a link to the guide that's available to learn more in depth about it, but pretty much what I covered is kind of, that's how simple it is. So I put a guide in there so that you can just take a look at the instructions for
And when are they planning on rolling this beta out to more of us who have subscriptions already?
He just said later part of the school year 2022.
Got it.
I think, can you access it now, just not the,
It's the beta version.
yeah.
But you
Okay.
have to contact them and ask for it, yes.
Okay. The hard part at the middle school is we do so much collaboration.
Yeah.
So.
And then you like to assign those groups too, right? Not just let them freely choose, which is the option now.
Right. And that is actually a hard, the organization, actually, I was going to make an appointment, I think, with Jason, because the organization gets confusing at the middle school level.
Yeah. So somebody asked how to get to it. It's just this blue box. This is, if you have the beta turned on, that's where you jump to the new WeVideo and it just opens from there. Okay.
Are there any final questions for Rhonda and the team before I steal the screen back?
Try it. That's what I guess that's the best thing. Just go and try it and see. And I'm sure that if you're in elementary school with especially kindergarten, first, second, you're gonna love it. But also for older kids as well.
Yeah, I used to teach junior high and high school agriculture and didn't know about these tools back then. And this definitely beats some of the other collaboration attempts we had at videos. So I love this. This is so neat and straightforward.